Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. It's Friday afternoon. It's 3 o'clock, at least where we are, alongside, of course, my co-host, Mr. Ken Golden, owner of The Laser's Edge. What's happening, Ken?
Hey, I will be in the chat with everyone this week. So,
Cool. So if you're watching it now, he's in the chat.
Yeah, last week I was at Capital Audio Fest. I couldn't do it.
There you go. Buy some good stuff.
You know, the only thing I bought two. One, you might laugh at me. I bought the 45 RPM cut of Selling in England by the Pound that just came out. The Acoustic Sounds Chad Kason put out, and don't laugh. I might sell it. I bought Phil Collins' Face Value, the 45 RPM cut. So I don't know if you know about this whole series that Acoustic Sounds is doing, the Chad Kason, to commemorate the 75th anniversary of Atlantic Records. They are doing, in conjunction with Atlantic Records, they're doing 45 RPM vinyl cuts of these classic albums. And they're doing a number of Genesis albums. So they're doing Selling England, they're doing Foxtrot, they're doing Nursery Crime, they're doing The Lamb, they're doing Trick of the Tail, and then they're doing one of the, maybe Abacab. And they're doing Close to the Edge. But they're doing other stuff like Dr. John, Bad Company. They did Phil Collins' Face Value. They've announced a bunch of titles. And so I have this super rare test pressing. They only made 20 copies. I think I flexed a bit and showed it in like a prog seat. There's only 20 copies. Back in the day, Classic Records, when they licensed those Genesis albums, they did a 45 RPM test cut, Selling England by the Pound. Made 20 copies, never went into production. They used those plates to make this edition. So I kept my test pressing sealed, still sealed, and I bought like an actual copy, and I think tonight might be the night I break it out.
The player's copy, right?
The reviews on YouTube, everybody's like freaking out over it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, the Classic Records version, Classic Records in the number of years ago, when they reissued them, they were heads and shoulders above any other version. So they're doing them they're also doing them as SACD, and these are the original mixes. These are not the Nick Davies mixes. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to hear some of these things. I would have liked to do Wind and Wuthering, but who knows? What everybody's really hoping was, because Acoustic Sounds, they bought the rights to the Classic Records catalog, and Classic Records back in the day, they did the entire Led Zeppelin catalog. So they haven't announced every title. So everybody's kind of got their fingers crossed that they're going to do the Zeppelin. And I have a couple of the Zeppelin Classic Records. They're insane. I have Physical Graffiti and I have Led Zeppelin 3, and they're crazy good. And the guy from Classic Records, Michael Hobson, way back when he had the license, he did a box set of all of the Zeppelin albums cut at 45, and they came in a big road case. It pops up like on eBay every once in a while, starting at like $10,000. So everybody's kind of got their fingers crossed that Jimmy Page will allow it, and that they'll go back to the Classic Records plates and they'll press them up again. So it'd be cool. You're not a vinyl guy, but some of us are, and we get excited about it. So
hey, I totally get it. Yeah. Buying these things over and over and over again.
Yeah, and if you're into great stuff, I will stock the Genesis SACDs when they come out. Unfortunately, they're not doing them all at once. They're coming out like one at a time. But I have them on order already. So when they pop up, I'll have them. I don't know how many people still care about SACD. It's a great format that really never really ignited. All right, you ready to talk about this week?
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's get the pre-order stuff out of the way. It was funny, right after we recorded last week, there were 2 pre-orders that popped up that I didn't mention, so I'll mention them now. And the first one is, let me use my app here. The first one is The Chronicles of Father Robin, The Songs and Tales of Aeroia, Part 2. So we're taking pre-orders on the CD and the vinyl. That comes out December 8th. Also doing Neil Morse, The Restoration, Joseph Part 2. This is going to be a CD, and there's also a vinyl version. I assume a 2 LP vinyl version. That's January 24th. This is his rock opera. He's got all different people playing on it. One that we actually just started shipping today. It's because it's streets next Friday. Devin Townsend, Infinity, the 2 CD and the blue vinyl. This is the expanded version of the album. If you see the cover art, he updated his cover art, and it's kind of cool. Next week's going to be crazy because of the holiday.
Yeah.
And and what also happened was we had capped our pre-sales on it, and Century Media came up with some more copies for us. So I opened up the pre-orders again. So and as soon as Devin's fans, they're very passionate, and as soon as we launched it again, I didn't have to say anything to anybody. Orders just started coming in. So yeah, and just to get ahead of things for all the stuff that's out next week, we decided we were going to just start shipping these guys out. So last thing I want to talk about in the pre-order situation, because a lot of people have been bugging me, Camel. So the story with the Camel box set was Universal supplies one of the main distributors in Europe that we get them from. And they were not 100% sure how many they were going to be getting. So I capped the sales at 50 box sets. So I was pretty much guaranteed to get 50. Now, I've ordered more, and if I'm able to get more, I'll make them available. The distributor's not getting them until like Monday or Tuesday. And we're closed. We got the holiday on Thursday. We're not working on Friday. Point I'm trying to make is we'll be shipping these right after Thanksgiving. So I think for the US, I think Universal set a street date of December 1st. I think is the following Friday. Yeah. So yeah. So and as I said, if I have more, my allocation is more than the 50 units, I'll put it right back up for sale. I'm talking about it because we've been getting a lot of emails about it and phone calls. So that's the story with Camel.
Good thing.
Yeah. So that's that. All right. Now, new CDs for the week. We'll do the vinyl afterwards. We got new one from Aquafragile called Moving Fragments, Bernardo Lanzetti. It's three of the original members of the band, one of which is Bernardo Lanzetti, the voice of Aquafragile and PFM. And this is the new album, a little more contemporary sounding, but as you would expect. But it's got Lanzetti on vocals if you like him. Next thing, Black Brier, A Dark Euphony, a band I was not familiar with, but this band is cut squarely from the Delane, Within Temptation, Cloth, clean vocals, female vocals, symphonic, gothic, definitely gothic. Very good, very good. Black Brier, A Dark Euphony. Next thing we got. What do we got here? La Boca della Verita, Unconnected. These guys are actually pretty good. This is their second album. Their first album, they sang, and if I remember correctly, they sang all in Italian. This one, they sing all in English. They came up with a pretty good balance of like Genesis, I'd say Genesis and some Gentle Giant, retro, but it's got a contemporary feel to it. It's not like what they always call rock progressivo Italiano. The first album was a little more like that. This is not like 70s worship. You'll definitely hear elements of that, but it's got more of a contemporary sound, and it's quite good. I was actually kind of surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And as I said, English vocals, so good, and a good singer too. So next thing, Compass, A Silent Symphony, British band. Sort of a mix of prog metal and melodic hard rock, you know, little AOR touches, got elements of that. I was unfamiliar with the band, but I had people asking me about it, and sure, what the hell, let's live a little, let's bring in some compass.
Absolutely.
There you go. Next thing we got the new one from DGM. It's called Life, and if you're into Italian power metal, good band. And here's one that I don't know much about. They're called the Chronicon Pestilence, and they're Italian power metal. And I got to be honest, I thought I was ordering a new Draconian album. So I'm like, wait a second, I'm setting it up, and I'm like, this is not Draconian. What the
Love
fuck
the cover. That's great.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is Draconicon? So apparently, I think this is their second album, Italian power metal. And if I'm wrong, in the comments, for sure, somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, right? We had this up for pre-order, but now we have stock and we're shipping the new solo album from Marius Duda, Afraid. So from Riverside, of course. Here's an interesting band. Pete, I don't know if you saw these guys, if you like these guys. The new one from Earthside, Let the Truth Speak. Have you heard this yet?
Yeah.
You know about Earthside?
I know of them. I've never listened to them.
So Earthside, they're interesting. The guys are from Connecticut. They're now signed to Mascot's prog label, Music Theories. And their approach is they take what they consider themselves as like a cinematic metal band. They're a prog metal band. And yeah, it does have a cinematic quality. But they made a point of not having a vocalist as a member of the band. So they have this album, like the first album, they have various people singing on their album. And you'll know his name, and I'm just having a case of the olds. The singer from Seven Dust.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, okay. Somebody's going to tell us who we're talking about. I believe he sang on the first, and he sings on this. It's all good singers, great players. I saw them open for Leprous, and it was really kind of weird because they didn't have a vocalist. They had monitors all over the stage, and the video would pop up with the singer. It was kind of, So, but as a studio project, they're very, very good. So, a very good project.
Cinematic metal. I'm like trying to. You ever listen to Brain Dance?
Oh, sure, of course.
Dance? I always thought that was kind of like cinematic metal. Got way into them, but yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, they were an interesting band, but I think you would like these guys. So, like I said, watching them visually on stage, it was a little tough, But as a record, it's nice stuff. It's very good. Next one, this is for me a buy or die. This is the reissue from Energet, 2 albums. They were a Czech jazz rock fusion band. It's a double CD, so you get 2 albums. You get Energet and Picnic. I believe there is some bonus tracks on here. And man, these guys just tear it up. I think they were the best Czech fusion band. And the first album opens up with a 17-minute track that's just blow your mind. It's like everybody gets their space to solo. And as I said, like towards the end there, like towards around the 16-minute mark, the guitarist comes in for the death blow, It just knocks it out. And the whole thing, over this whole piece, this is like this tribal drumming and like a hand percussion and stuff. To me, it reminds me a little bit like Bitches Brew or Mwandishi. I mean, it's got this, I don't want to say this spiritual element, but man, it's got this real tribal feel to it. And it's great. Great keyboards. It's Emil Viklicki was the keyboard player on the first album. And he made some fusion albums later on on Superfon in Czech Republic, also recorded with Bill Frisell. And yeah, he's a real good player. He's on the first one. He got replaced on the second album. Second album's not quite as good as the first, but it's also really good. So this is a buy or die for me. And from the distributor, I got like their remaining stock. I don't have a tremendous amount left. I think I have about this many left, and we'll see how long they last. Hopefully, I still have some by the time people watch this. Next one is one that's kind of alien to me. Antonio Giorgio, a Magica. He's an Italian guitarist, sort of a symphonic metal. But the thing I thought that was interesting, Mark Vanderbilt sings on this. Mark Vanderbilt was the singer on the first two Camelot albums.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. Jeez, I forgot that name.
When they were on Noise, back when they were on Noise
Yeah,
Records.
way back when. Wow.
Yeah. So
about him, right?
Right. So whatever happened to Mark Vanderbilt? Well, he's playing on, he's singing on Antonio Giorgio's Magica album. So there you go. I know it's up on Bandcamp. You could hear it. Next one, another great band, another Czech band, Jazz Q, Martin Kratchkovil. I'm once again 2 weeks in a row, I destroy his name. And and everybody's gonna see the little Prezi logo, I think, on the screen, right? Are you seeing that?
No. Oh, up in the corner, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a way for me to kill that, but I don't know. Oh, anyway, yeah. So anyway, they were a great Czech jazz rock band, had many albums. This is a reissue of, I think it was the 1984 studio album, and it's expanded into a double CD, second disc, a lot of unreleased material. So great group. We had a live one from Pori Jazz Festival in 1972 last week. We sold out of that. I'm going to try and restock that as well. So next thing they did 2 CD reissues. We were talking about Mark Vanderbilt and Camelot. Well, we got reissues from Camelot, but these are with Khan on vocals, and we've got One Cold Winter's Night.
Great album.
We've got Ghost Opera, The Second Coming, and we have Poetry for the Poisoned. And I like Camelot. With Tommy Karavik on vocals, solid band. You give me Khan every time. So I got to go for the cheap laugh. I'm sorry. Next, I got 3 reissues from great Czech prog band, Modrý Effect. They were Modrý Effect. They were Blue Effect. They were M Effect. We've got Nova Synthesa and Nova Synthesa 2. This was the band with the Czechoslovakian Radio Orchestra, I believe, or Czechoslovakian Radio Philharmonic. I should have taken notes. And the first album is all instrumental. Second album has some vocals. Fantastic albums. Again, kind of I'd say a buy or die proposition. We have a reissue of Svet Hladiku. This is when they were getting really into the prog thing, kind of a little bit of a Yes feel. And then this, I believe, was their last studio album. It's called, they were just called M Effect at that point, and the name of the album is 33. And if I'm not mistaken, I think some of the vocals were in English on that. Next one. There's a lot of stuff this week. Next one. This is from, I believe, 2017, but the distributor put it on sale. It's a beautiful album. I decided to bring in some copies. It's Verneri Pohoja, and the name of the album is Pekka. He is a trumpet player, and he is Pekka Pohoja's son. And this is just a really beautiful jazz rock album that he did in tribute to his father, and he reworks old material. And if people don't know, Pekka Pohoja was one of the greatest bass players that ever lived, and he was in Wigwam, and he had a great career as a solo artist in Finland. And this is a really beautiful album, and it's a little uncharacteristic. He's on Edition Records, which is a really nice jazz label, but this is like the jazz rock album. It's got a lot of Fender Rhodes on it. It's great stuff. Anyway, highly recommend it. Beautiful record. Next one that we were taking pre-orders on, and now we're shipping it, and hopefully we're going to get more. David Sanchez and Tone. Dance of the Age of Enlightenment. There's a whole backstory on this one. Basically, it was an album that went into test pressing. Promo copies went out back in 1979 or 80, I think it was, and never went into manufacturing and got shelved for various reasons. Sanchez approved this reissue, taken from the master tapes. He wrote the liner notes, and apparently, when it was released as a test pressing back in the day, it was done at the wrong speed. So it was like sped up like 12% or something. So now it's done at the correct speed, and we'll get the true story on this thing. So it's CD only, and we're shipping it. I got 4 releases by the great Polish band SBB. I just decided to bring these are classic albums. SBB, we got Pamiak, which was their 3rd album. Follow My Dream, where they're singing in English, an unreleased live session for 75, Horforce 1975. They were a great trio led by Joseph Skrezek, again, killing his name. And they SBB originally stood for the Silesian Blues Band. And then they, not like ELP. You see a trio, you think of ELP, nothing at all like that. Great keyboards, great guitar, solid Polish band. Next one, power metal band that's very popular with our customers. New one from Signum Regis, Undivided. I believe there's like a Christian theme to their stuff. I could be wrong about that, but we sell a lot of Signum Regis.
I've never listened to them.
Not my thing. You want Signum Regis? We got the new one. It's called Undivided. Joseph Skrezek. This is a double live CD. This is after SBB broke up, and it's expanded. The second CD is all unreleased material. New one that I'm really, really liking, and I think that this is going to make a lot of top 10 lists. The new one from Temic, Terror Management Theory. So this is Diego Tejeda. He left Haken, and Eric Gillette, who Eric Gillette. Was he in Flying Colors?
No, Neil Morse band.
I know Neil Morse band, but I didn't know. For some reason, I thought he was in Flying Colors. For some reason, I thought I heard my dog. And the singer is unknown to me. His name is Frederick Klemp. The guy's really good.
Yeah.
And they got a drummer, and I don't know who's handling the bass. Really good. This is a real grower. So, and Eric's guitar work.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a good amount of shredding and big heavy riffs on it, I would assume so, right?
Yeah, but it's a prog metal album. It's not as, well, I don't want to say crazy. It's not as like gent heavy, like the direction, or quite as technical as Haken. But I'll tell you what I will tell you though. Listening to this record, you realize how much Diego was an important component in Haken. So, very, very good. I like it.
Yeah, I gotta check that.
Yeah, it's right up your alley. Next one, Virgo. Virgo were a German jazz rock band. By this point they were a jazz rock band. When they started out, they were recorded for Bellaphon, Bacillus label, which Nectar was on, and Frame. A lot of bands were on it. But when Virgo started out, they were like an electric jazz band. But over time, they evolved into a straight up jazz rock fusion band. And this was, I believe, their last or next to last studio album. Really good. Next one. This was a nice surprise. The new one, the first one from Taku Yabuki. So we did very well with Modern World Symphony No. 3. And last week he said, "Hey, do you want copies of No. 1? I just made them." I'm like, hell yeah, send it over. So if you like No. 3, and I think everybody universally liked, Modern World Symphony No. 3, this is kind of cut from a similar cloth. But the only difference really is that these are all Japanese musicians except for Alan what's the name? Alan Hines, I believe, is the guitar player.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he's on it, but it's mostly Japanese musicians, none of which whose names popped out at me. Has maybe a little bit more of a symphonic prog direction, but it's got those, but it has all those other elements to it, jazz rock and fusion, classical, whatever. He's a talented guy's, an incredible keyboard player. So anyway, so highly recommend Takayubuki. All right, I'm gonna blow through the vinyl real quick. This one was a shock to me. Really good so far. The new one from Agitation Free, Momentum. They've bumped the CD release to December 8th, but we have the vinyl now. It's a few of the original guys. Michael Honig's on it, and what I heard, I thought was shockingly good. So
that's awesome news.
Yeah, surprising, right? When they announced this, I was very questionable, but I listened to it. I was really surprised. It's not Malesh, but it's a full-on prog album. It's really good. Now we got two vinyl reissues from Caravan. We got If I Could Do It Again, and also Cunning Stunts.
Solid records.
Then we had two classics. Marius Duda again on vinyl. We got Earthside on vinyl. And here's an album. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. I think you would like this. Real rare hard rock album. Euclid Heavy Equipment. You have that album?
Yep. It's very good, actually.
Yeah, a lot of covers, but man, it's good. I actually got an original of that about a year or so ago. I was in a Pennsylvania store, Positively Records, and it was hanging on the wall. And we negotiated. It's an expensive record.
I bought that on CD maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was scooping up any like obscure late 60s, early 70s heavy rock album I could possibly get on CD, and it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. So we got copies of that, and it's not a bootleg. This fully licensed from Ace Records. Classic. It's not Yugoslavia anymore, but it was back then. Indexi Modra Rijeka. This was a great, one of the greatest Yugoslavian prog albums. We got the Camelots. I'm not going to show his face again. Then we got Modri Effect, but we have Meditach, which was the real early one. I think this was the first one when they were called the Blue Effect, and they sing in English on this version of it. And it's a little bluesier. It's not quite as prog, but it's still good. And then we have 33, which I actually should have mentioned. Actually, in a weird way, I hear a little bit of Rush in there in this one. First time on vinyl, RPWL, Beyond Man and Time. They, if you're familiar with the band, they actually started out as a Pink Floyd cover band. There's a lot of Pink Floyd in their music. We've got Temic on vinyl, if you so desire. And then last we have this week, Veo Afro Rock. And that record, we talked about it. The CD, we won the CD. Man, this thing's great. And it's as good as it looks.
A lot of fun. It's not what you'd expect either. It's just, that's really good.
Yeah, and it's on Be With Records, and Be With, they do a really nice job on their reissues. So I have an original, so I'm not cracking one open. I can't tell you how it sounds, but Be With, they do nice work. So I would expect that it's gonna be very good. So that's what I got for this week. What are we gonna do about next week, Pete? What do you want to do? We'll play it by ear.
Play it by ear. If you feel you get anything additional in by like Tuesday or so, let me know, because kind of like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm out of touch. So
yeah, me too. So
there's a lot of stuff you've introduced today. So I mean, even if we don't have an episode, there's a lot here.
There is a lot of stuff for next. There actually is some stuff coming in next week. We have the other thing I guess I should mention, the John Wetton box set, An Extraordinary Life. Those are in transit to us. Those straight next Friday. So get your order in. So there is stuff streeting next Friday, but yeah, it's a short week for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're not really around. So if it's worth it, so why don't we leave it like this? If you don't see us on Friday, you'll know why.
Yeah, there you go.
There's not, and then the following week, there'll be that much more to talk about.
Exactly. Cool.
There you go.
Works. And for
right.
those watching, so a week from today, Martin Popoff and I will not have this damn glare. We won't have Friday Morning Funhouse next Friday either. All right. So we may or may not have one of these, but we definitely, Martin and I won't be having a show next Friday. I'll probably record something early in the week that we could slot into the time. So fear not, we'll have something. But yeah, here in the States, everybody watching, it's a holiday week. So the program will be a little on the skimpier side. So, but we'll do what we can for you. So,
and if you don't see us, wish you a happy holiday.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends, right? So stay home, eat lots of turkey, and listen to lots of prog and metal, right?
And if not, watch a lot of football.
That too, if you like that. Exactly.
Yeah. I am for the music.
So as always, the link is lasercd.com. We'll have that, and all of these titles that Ken showed and talked about today will be pinned in the comments section. So for those of you who like to click on a link and copy and paste, we'll give it all to you. Just look down below, and we'll see you either next week or in 2 weeks here on the Professor's Picks. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Buy lots, buy often, and you got a couple buy or dies today. So, and if you don't remember what they were, rewind and rewatch the episode.
That's right.
You don't want to miss those, right?
They're good.
I got one of them on the way to me, so I took that buy or die very, very to heart. So
you're gonna enjoy it.
There you go. I'm sure I will. So thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. What we got coming up here on the channel? We've got, of course, the UK Connection coming up at you tomorrow, and Sunday we've got ranking the albums. I will be ranking the catalog of Pato, 4 albums, very cool band. Ollie on guitar. If you're a Holdsworth fan, you're going to want to check out this episode because he's a very similar type player. In fact, he and Alan were very good friends early on. In fact,
they're in Tempest together, right?
We're in Tempest together, right? They kind of crossed paths in Tempest for a little bit. So yeah. So stay tuned for that and everything else here on the channel. For Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Have a good one.
Take care.